All right, recording is rolling. It is Thursday, April 18th. We're going to do this orienteering activity. So under your desk, you guys see a quarter page says Griffinbeard's treasure. Going to go on a treasure hunt, but this is really an orienteering activity. So I want to show you guys how to read bearing and double outside here. So there are different versions of this map, but they all lead to the exact same location. So I buried some treasure outside. If you get to the correct location, then I did hammer one of these stakes into the ground, one of these bolts. So from above, it looks like this. This is about the size of a dime. This is the same one you guys used to make an electromagnet the other day. Remember that, right? So if you see this stuck into the ground, right, it's like pretty much flush with the dirt. Well, hammered that yesterday, so hopefully it didn't get covered over by dirt. I guess we're gonna find out. Right, then is where some treasure is buried. Right, so there's a starting point and then three directions to follow. So start at the western field goal post and then follow these three directions after that. Right, so what does this mean? Right, so we're gonna go outside to the practice field here a few minutes, draw a practice field here. Right, let's get kind of a 3D look on this thing. Okay, so we got right, so say like the school is over here, or this building, right? When we head outside, right? There's this west end field goal post right about here-ish, okay, and the east end field goal post about here-ish. Okay, we're gonna say between the west end, the east end, that this is a straight shot west to east. So this is an east-west line. Okay, it's pretty close to that. So we'll just say it's exactly east-west. Okay, so this is an east-west line. So here's your west end, here's your east end. Okay. So you start on the west end field goal post. That's the one that's closer to the school. And it says walk so many meters, so many degrees. And then I got what here? Like east of south, east of north, west of south, or west of north, right? Notice there's always something relative to a north-south line, right? Like of south or of north, right? You guys see that? Right. And that is a convention for a bearing, right? I mean, it's just a convention people came up with, right? But let's look at a compass rose and think, what does that mean? Like those particular directions. Right? So compass rose, let's do north, east, south, west, that could be, right? Okay. So suppose you're starting on the west end field goal post here. Here, I'm just gonna do this map. Right? The first step says 48 meters, 30 degrees east of south, right? So let's go backwards there. So like east of south, look at that be, right? So I'll start with my of some kind of north-south line. So here's starting with the north-south line. Okay. So east of south was that. Well, if I look south, right, that's this way. And then east of that, that's like this direction. Okay. 30 degrees. Yeah, oh, I do have a protractor here, so I guess we get exact angle. Okay. What is 30 degrees? So that's like bam, right there. Switching color to let's do this color. Okay. So this right here would be, right, here's 30 degrees east of south. I guess see 30 degrees east of south. I guess that. Okay. And then you would just do that for 48 meters. Okay. Usually students are pretty good, if I've seen over the years, students are pretty good at figuring out how to walk in terms of meters. Right. You guys know 1 meter is a little bit more than 3 floor tiles. So I know if I just walk normally, my step to step is like 70 centimeters, right? You could do something like that. You could do a calculation, or if you take like giant, like pirate steps, right? So you kind of pace out what is a meter before we head outside. Okay, it's a little over 3, 4, 5, or you throw it on one of these meter sticks, like get an exact count. But students are usually pretty good at that. Okay. Right. To kind of finish this off, so you pick up from that point. Suppose that was like 48 meters, right? And then says goes so many meters. Now this direction says 45 degrees east of north. So is that right? So you pick up from this point, right? And then you could go 45 degrees east of north. Now I'm just gonna pretend that's the first step. I'm gonna go back to the central point and say, what is 45 degrees east of north there? Right. So of north, so start like of north, and I need to go 45 degrees east of that. Here, let's go. Protractor, 45 degrees, bam, right there. Okay. So this direction is 45 degrees east of north. Right, you guys see that? 45 degrees east of north. The last direction here says so many meters, 30 degrees west of south. Okay, so again, pretending that that's the first step, right? Just to go from the middle of this map, right? What is 30 degrees west of south? Right, so you start with the of south, right, and then go 30 degrees west of that. Right, so that's bam right there. Right, there's 30 degrees west of south. Right, is that right? Now, I did all those individually as if they're each individually the first step, right? But if you put it all together, maybe I'll do like a little compass rose over here. Right? What would that look like if you put all three steps together? Right, so 30 degrees east to south, it's like bam, right there. Right, then you turn, go 45 degrees east of north. So you pick up from that point, that particular bam right there. And then 30 degrees west of south, that's like going something like bam. Maybe you end up like something kind of like that. I guess that like there's like a net effect. See how I did like 3 vectors? I added them effectively tip to tail. Right? That's what this is. That's one of the first things you guys ever learn in this class, vector addition. You can add vectors tip to tail. In fact, playing off that, you guys might remember too, that you can add vectors together in any particular order and you'll always get the same net effect, right? Like if this was force vectors, if I took these and turned from meters into like newtons and I was like pushing on this thing, I could add them together in any order and there's like some net effect, right? So what I'm trying to get at is that you don't have to follow these steps in order, right? You could do like the second step first and then the third step, then the first step. You could do them in any order and you should end up at the exact same spot. That's actually why I made different maps, is so that you guys aren't all in one giant ball. You guys kind of spread out, but there's like too many people going one way and split off a different way. Right? You guys got that? Right. And again, what you're looking for is staked in the ground is something that look about like that. All right. You guys got any questions? All right. Ready to head outside? All right. So set up the door, take a left, go all the way down, and yeah, gonna find some treasure.